Make yourself cozy or comfortable, grab yourself a nice cup of tea, cup of coffee or something else. I'm currently drinking a nice cup of tea, a cinnamon flavored cup of tea to be precise. And let's dive right into my stack of books I've read over here, my 10 book recommendations for the autumn. I am an autumn girl through and through. Like, I love autumn. It's my favorite season of the year and I love reading autumnal books. And autumnal books for me are books about witches, vampires, forest themed books, books that have a gloomy atmosphere or even small town vibes, and especially books that are set around October celebrations, the harvest, pumpkins, all that kind of things. Those are the perfect reads, I think, for autumn. And I've got some very good recommendations for you guys here. And I think most of the recommendations are probably a little bit of cozy, foresty, historical, witchy kind of vibes. And I already did like a book recommendation for autumn last year, where I did like a whole themed book recommendation for each different theme. I had different books to recommend. So if you enjoyed this one, then I would suggest go to the other one after watching this, and I'll link it in the description box down below, because that was like a very big video, so I had a lot more book recommendations than this one. So yeah, I think I've rambled enough. Let's dive right into the first book recommendations. And the first one is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. As I said, vampires are my idea of autumnal reads. And Twilight is an old favorite. I love Twilight. I really do love the series so much. I think it is so enjoyable, very nostalgic to me, but especially very atmospheric. The atmosphere in this book series, and especially book 1, is very gloomy, misty, foresty, and I think that's just perfect for autumn. I live in the Netherlands and the weather in autumn is quite often gloomy, rainy, misty, and well, simply dark clouds all day long. So yeah, that kind of like resembles the foresty and atmosphere in Twilight, and because of that, this book screams autumn to me. And there are vampires in here as well. It's a romance story about a girl, Bella, who decides to live with her father in Forks. And when she goes and lives there, she goes to high school, and there she meets this guy who is a little bit weird, very attractive, very pale, and when she gets to know him a little bit better, she realizes he's a vampire. And she meets his vampire family, and the romance starts to get in, and this blossoms, and it's a whole book series. There are werewolves in here as well, and I don't know, I just really enjoy this so immensely, and I think it especially just has the perfect gloomy vibes if you're looking for that. And vampires, like who doesn't like a love story with vampires? And then another one, Harry Potter. And especially Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Like, for starters, autumn is also the month that school starts again. And this year is the first year that we are actually going to start on the 1st of September. Like, I'm a history teacher, so I live by school years as well. And this year we're going to start on the 1st of September, just like Harry. It's so exciting. So yeah, I think that this book is just perfect for around this time. It has lots of autumnal feelings. It celebrates Halloween as well, so you have obviously quite a lot of descriptions about pumpkins and the leaves falling down, this gloomy weather that starts to get set in, but it also has a lot of magic in here. It is about this boy who lives with his family, with his aunt and uncle, because his parents have died, and then he finds out he's a wizard, and he goes to the school Hogwarts. And there he learns how to become a wizard. He learns to control his magic. And it's just a very magical, cozy vibe. Finding new family, making new friends, the start of a school year, Halloween. It has it all. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. And especially actually the one with the illustrations. Because the illustrations are just perfect. And they're so stunning. And look at the autumnal illustrations. Doesn't this, it's just so perfect for autumn. Yeah, highly recommend this one. It's one of my favorite books, and I just really love rereading this now and again. If you saw my autumn TBR book video for this year, then you know I'll be reading this in the first week of September. So check that one out if you want to know all the books I'm planning on reading in autumn as well. But now let's get into the other ones. And another book with vampires and even witches and demons is A Discovery of Witches. And this is a trilogy written by Deborah Harkness, All Souls trilogy. It also has a TV series. Highly recommend that one as well. And this is a story about an Oxford professor, and she is doing some research, and while she's doing research she stumbles upon this very ancient text. And this text turns to be this very important ancient text about the creation of creatures like witches, vampires and demons. When she discovers this text, she kind of like sets a lot of things into motion. A lot of magical beings are being alerted that this text has been found, and they try to get this text, and she gets shielded and guarded and protected by this vampire who is also very interested in this text, but she trusts him enough to let him kind of like help her out, and they start to form this romantic relationship, and so many other things start to happen as well. There are so many things in this story that I absolutely love. Book 2 even has time travel. If you're into that, I really enjoyed it as well. It was very well done, and I just love the romance. I love the Oxford dark academia setting this book especially has, and it has vampires, witches, demons. Do I really need to say more? Pick this one up. It is so extremely good. I think when it comes to a vampire love story, like if you have to choose between Twilight or this one, then I would recommend this one over Twilight, to be honest. I really enjoyed it so much. And then another recent favorite that I actually read in my 24-hour readathon video. So I'll link that one in the description box down below in case you want to have like a full review of me reading The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. Like 5-star, love this one from the beginning to the end. It is set right before Halloween. It is set in this magical town, and it is about this woman and man who have met before. And when they met before, they dated, they were in love with each other, but then this man did something and the woman decided to kind of like curse him accidentally. She didn't really know that this curse was really happening and that this was a real curse and going to stick and actually be so very problematic that they needed to work together again 9 years later to get rid of this curse, but also save the town because of it. And it is set, as I said, around Halloween, and it has so many perfect autumnal atmosphere in this story, like the way the town is being decorated for autumn and Halloween celebrations, and how the forest is described. The romance in here is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the humor from the side characters. The banter was so great. Loved this story so much. Highly recommend if you're looking for a very quick, easy rom-com type of witchy story. Highly recommend this one. And when we are talking about a romance story, and I think I have more than one actually in here, but I also want to mention the Pumpkin Spice Café and the Cinnamon Bun book story. Officially this one is the first in the series, however I still think you can read them separately, except for the fact that you get to know like characters in this one and they end up getting a relationship in this one and then in the sequel and so on and so on. This one however is, I think, perfect for the transition of summer to autumn, because this kind of starts off in the summer and then slowly goes to the harvest celebrations by the end of the story. So this is like the perfect transition book to read between summer and autumn. This one however is just autumn. It's called Pumpkin Spice Café. Do we need to say more? It has every autumn vibe that you want to know. Like the decorations, the falling of the leaves, the pumpkin spice drinks that are being made, the cinnamon buns and rolls that are being made in this book as well, the romance, the pumpkins, the small town feeling. Both of them actually has them. And both of them I think are great for this time. They're romance stories, very easy to read. I think this one is a lot better written than this one, but still very enjoyable. 5 stars. I think this one was like a 3-star for me. And then we have, like, if you're looking for another rom-com kind of story, we have Bride by Elie Hazelwood. This is a story about a vampire and a werewolf who have to get married to kind of like form this alliance and this peace treaty between the two species to make sure that they will not go to war against each other. So this is kind of like more of a marriage of convenience, and they need to learn to accept each other even though they are species, different species, and they really hate each other because they're a vampire and a werewolf, so they can't really get along. But then slowly romance starts to fall in, and this does have some very weird spice. So if you're not into that, do not read this one, because the spice gets very weird. But at the same time, it was so extremely enjoyable. I really liked this from the beginning to the end. It starts to drag a little bit towards the end because there are a couple of things happening to kind of like form this climax. But at the same time, the romance, and especially the beginning of the story when they have to marry each other, and the conversations that are all about that is so funny, and how she needs to learn to accept and live with all these werewolves even though they smell awful because they're werewolves and she's a vampire. It's just very, very funny, and I really enjoy this so much. And because of the vampire werewolf things, I think it's perfect an autumn read. And yeah, I really enjoy it, especially if you're not really into like the creepy horror type of books. And this one might even be a fun read around Halloween. So highly recommend this one. Then we have Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. If I'm talking about atmospheric books, say no more. It has, even though it's set in a bigger city, I feel it has like a little bit of a small town feeling, especially in the community where Viv ends up living inside of the city. It has like this whole setting of a cafe, building this cafe and trying to get people to the cafe, marketing it, but also trying to bake beautiful pastries that make them smell good, make them look good, make them taste good. Like, if you are really into that, then this is the perfect story. It's about this ogre who decides that war is not longer for her, but she needs a cafe. So she's actually going to build her own cafe and sell lattes in a city where no one really knows what coffee really is. So she has a very big task ahead of her, and she gets to know all these new people. They become this group of new friends. It really has a found family vibe in here as well. And it's just a very cozy, slow-paced story with so many atmospheric feelings. Really love this. And then I have another book that I read last year. I did a whole reading vlog for that, and I'll also put it down in the description box. But this is like one of my favorite books I read in a very, very long time, and that's Reread by Lucy Jane Wood. It has a witch, it has a cat, it has romance, it has this grumpy old man in here as well. There's some found family aspect in here, small town feeling, a witch's coven. There's so many beautiful, amazing autumnal elements, and I'm not even talking about the fact that it's actually set in autumn and it actually ends at Halloween. And you have like these autumn decorations, setting up the bookstore with all the autumn decorations, the Halloween section and all that kind of stuff. The falling of the leaves from the trees. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I love this so much. I can't wait to read Uncharmed, but I really want to reread this as well. So if I'm in the mood, I might actually pick this up again this autumn, because it is just so extremely good. I love the writing style. It is a debut novel, and I can't wait to see what she's going to write next. Uncharmed is going to be the sequel, or it's going to be the next book that she's actually releasing this September. It has the same type of feeling as well, so I'm dying to read that one. And I just love witchy books, as you've probably noticed about this book recommendation video. I can't help myself, I love witches. And I have got the Very Secret Society of Regular Witches by Sangu Madana. And this story has it all, in my opinion. I really love this so much. It has a found family, it has a witch who is making her own YouTube videos, and then someone sees her and he's like, oh, I need her, she needs to help me out with certain kids that I'm raising, and she needs to train their magic. So he sends her an email, I think it is. They have contact together, and then she decides to actually do this. She goes to the countryside, to this mansion where a lot of people live together with these kids. She needs to teach those kids how to control their magic, and there's this grumpy man living there as well who is not really agreed about the fact that he doesn't really like the idea that she's teaching these kids. There's some gloomy romance in the background that I love. It is so well written, but especially the found family aspect of the story is really more in the forefront of the story, and I love that so much. I love how they get to know each other, how magic is a real thing in this world, and how this is tested and the boundaries of the magic are tested as well. And yeah, just really enjoy it so much. I do feel that when it comes to autumnal vibes, this one might be a little bit lacking in the sense of the atmospheric feeling with the falls leaving, and the leaves are like falling and that type of stuff, or the pumpkins, or the pumpkin spice lattes, or coffee drinks, or teas. You do not have that a lot in this one, but however I still think it's perfect for autumn, simply because of the found family, the magic that's in here, and the way it's written. It feels just extremely cozy and so heartwarming. Then we have The Queen of Blood, the first book in the Queens of Rentia series by Sarah Beth Durst. And I love this series. It's one of my all-time favorite series. It is super atmospheric, and that's the reason why I decided to put this on this book recommendations video. In this world you have nature, and especially the trees, that kind of are very, very dangerous to humans. You have this queen, the Queen of Rentia, who actually possesses a certain type of magic where she's able to control the nature and the trees. And she's able to make sure that the trees do not rebel against humankind, because that's kind of what's happening in this world. Nature is rebelling against humankind and kind of like taking back nature. They are destroying cities, they are killing humans, and they are doing this out of spite because the fact that humans are building everywhere. They are burning away trees, they're using nature to make places to live for themselves. There are a lot of spirits in here, forest spirits, nature spirits, who have a very big part in this rebellion against humankind. And the Queen of Rentia, with the power that she has, needs to control this, needs to make sure that the humans are safe. Every time a queen dies, they need another queen, and there's not like a bloodline in here. They just need to find the right girl with the right type of magic. And this first book is kind of like this search for the right type of girl who ends up becoming the queen. And it is very atmospheric. You especially have like a lot of descriptions about these nature spirits, the trees, how nature looks, the way nature is actually described in the series is just absolutely amazing, and it makes it just simply for a very atmospheric read. She is very detailed in the descriptions about nature, and you can actually see and feel it when you're reading it, and I just absolutely love that. The characters are a lot of fun. The magic system and the complicity in the way the Queens of Rentia have to make sure that everyone is safe is so scary actually, and the idea that nature takes it back from the humans is something that kind of sounds very creepy, scary. It is gruesome at sometimes, very horrific, especially when people die. Just a very amazing story, and I love this fantasy series. And then the last book is actually The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I love this story so much. It's an historical fantasy about three sisters who are witches, and they kind of have to live in 1893. And when they live around this time, they probably also have to hide their magic. And there are certain things occurring in this time where magic actually is needed to make sure that people are safe. And they are really like struggling with trying to hide their magic. And all of these sisters are just very adorable. I really loved their relationship, their banter. All of three of them are amazing characters. I love the romance in the story. I love how the magic is described and how this is very tied to nature as well. And the ending of the story is very sad and hard. There are hard parts to read, and at the same time also very bittersweet and beautiful. And I just really enjoy this story so much. It is a lot different from the stories that I've been recommending during this video, but still I really recommend it simply because of the writing style, the characters, the story, the development of everything. It is so extremely well done. And yeah, I just I really enjoyed it so much. The secrets and things that are being revealed in the story are very enjoyable. It's a standalone, so if you're kind of like looking for something that doesn't really have like a sequel to it, then I'm highly recommending this one to you. So these were all my book recommendations, and I know I said 10, but I think it was more than 10. But anyhow, I still hope that there was something in here that you might actually enjoy and that you will pick up. Let me know if you do actually, because I would love to know your guys' opinions as well. Like if you pick one of these up and you end up enjoying or not enjoying it, let me know. And let me also know what you'll be reading in autumn in the comment section down below. If you're still watching here, then thank you, 1,000 times thank you so much for still watching this video. Give this one a like if you enjoyed it so far. If you're still watching so far and you do not know anything to say in the comment section, then leave a maple leaf or a pumpkin. You can choose which one you want, or both. If I don't care, I really love both and they're very, very autumnal. Leave them in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. It really makes my day when I receive a comment from you guys, even if it's just a pumpkin or a maple leaf or whatever. I really enjoy it so much. It really makes my day. It may sound crazy, but it really does. Thank you so much for being here and so much for watching my videos. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next week with another one, and see you then. Bye bye.